beginning, we said to you, to all of you, that when what you want and what you believe is the same, then it just is. And then for a while, we began talking about how law of attraction is surrounding you, and it's reflecting back to you what you're thinking vividly. And then we began talking about deliberate creation. We began talking about deliberately focusing your thoughts. And we noticed a lot of you began going, cancel, cancel. You tried to suck the thought back before law of attraction got hold of it. And then we began talking to you about the art of allowing. And we began talking to you about how the creative process is really 3 steps, where the sifting through the contrast helps you know what you don't want, but it also helps you to know what you do want. It's the way you begin to frame up your focus and begin to be more deliberate about it. And now we're speaking to you. We want you to feel this fully, that good stuff happens and bad stuff happens, and we want you to just call it the contrast of life that is sharpening your focus. How are you going to know what you prefer if life doesn't show you, give you opportunity for you to choose? Because if you had intended not to have robust expansion, you would not have come forth into this contrast from which you are coming to these magnificent moment-by-moment conclusions. So we want to convince you, and of course words don't teach, that through all of that process of sifting and sorting, that you're putting things into your vortex which are vibrational versions that are sure things. But you have to know that they're sure things before the absence of them doesn't bother you. In other words, we want you to get to the place, we've said to you for a long time, that when you're in the place where you're appreciating what is, even in its absence of fullness of the things you want, but appreciating the opportunity, appreciating the clarity, appreciating the opportunity to launch, appreciating the breadth and depth of your experience, appreciating what's in the vortex, appreciating the expansion, appreciating the fact that your inner being is in there holding steady the message, appreciating that the energy that creates worlds is right there with it, appreciating that all that is, that which man wants to call God, that which we call pure positive energy, is there tending to the fullness of that which you have become. It takes the sting out of it not yet having come round fully. And it also helps when you say to yourself frequently, I never get it done and I cannot get it wrong. Think about it. The reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So when you are having that experience that you call a bad experience, we would stop calling it a bad experience. We would call it a clarifying experience. We would call it a bouncing experience. We would call it a giving a birth to solution experience. We would call it an expansion experience. We would call it an experience that has made you more and giving you more reason to line up with your vortex, you see. It's not possible. This is what you knew coming in. You knew that it would not be possible for something bad to happen to you and for you to be able to maintain attention to that bad thing and that bad thing only forevermore. You knew that that bad would generate good, that that unwanted would generate wanted, and you knew that all of the resources of source would be holding to the expansion and that the odds were 100% that you would line up and take the expansion. And they are 100%. You will take the expansion. A lot of you will wait till you croak to do it because you're so determined to catalog and pigeonhole things. You see what people do? A lot of people are offering nearly all of their vibrational output, which equals their point of attraction, based upon what they're observing. So if something good happens, they offer the vibration of it. If something bad happens, they offer the vibration. But they're sort of just bouncing all over the place. They don't feel like they have any control of anything. And that's when you feel fearful. That's the opposite of that worthy feeling. But when you show yourself that you can have a conscious relationship with your vortex, and you watch the manifestations follow what you know is good vortex work, before you know it, you begin to feel invincible and you stop talking about bad things. You just begin to realize that you do get to choose. You can pick from among it. And further, when you experience something that you think you would rather not experience, and you put the solution version of it in there, and then you have the wherewithal to line up with the solution version, person after person will say to you, I'm so glad for having had that experience because I'm so much more for coming into alignment with what it gave me. In fairness, we want to say to you that when something has happened and it has your attention, it's natural that you're looking at it and even talking about it and emailing about it and texting about it and blogging about it because it's on your mind and law of attraction is dishing up more of it to you. But we want this gathering to help you to remember that the less attention you give it to it, the more it will fade. So that's why we're saying, rather than being specific about it, specific about this thing that's clobbered you that you do not want, let's get general about it. But you see, here's the thing. It's active in your vibration, and you do need to move it to a less specific place. So even though you don't want to talk about the specifics of it, here's what we do. This too shall pass. I don't have to focus upon it. Things do come up from time to time that I don't want, but they don't stay. There's a lot of things in my life that are going better. Some things are going better than others. I have the ability to focus upon the things that are going better. I've always been someone who wanted to solve a problem, and I didn't realize that in my effort to solve a problem, I was keeping the problem active. Now I'm ready to acknowledge that on the other side of the problem is a solution, and I'm going to be more solution-oriented. So I'm going to downplay the clobbering a little bit and upplay the opportunity a little bit, because I'm really good. I discovered about myself a long time ago, you say. I've discovered that I am a good problem solver. In fact, I'm such a good problem solver that I think I actually look for problems to be solved. I actually find myself, Esther used to, on a regular basis, help people get their car opened who were locked out of their own car. She carried a hanger in her car because she was really good at it, and there was always someone who needed her assistance. And one day, after 3 times in one day of helping someone in a parking lot, Jerry said, I want you to leave the hanger at home. Because you are attracting, but there's something sort of fun about solving problems, because in solving problems there is focus. In solving problems, it feels good. It feels good to solve a problem. We just want you to be more solution-oriented and less problem-oriented. And what you will begin to discover is there's always going to be, you see, as you stand here and you know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want, at first what you do want is foreign to you, because what you don't want is more active in your vibration. But if you have the now wherewithal to let that diminish just a little bit by distracting yourself from it and caring enough about how you feel that you're looking for vibrational alignment with the better feeling, before you know it, you will practice the better feeling vibration, and you will stand in the vibration of it, and now a manifestation will come to you that will reflect your newfound solution. And there will be many opportunities where you will appreciate the problem for the solution that it revealed to you. Now you're standing in a new place with a new set of vibrational experiences around you. Still more contrast, because there always is. Know what you don't want, know what you do want, but it feels foreign to you because you're not used to thinking in those terms. This feels more familiar, but you've had the fun of lining up with it. You've had the feeling of expansion, and so you reach for the feeling of the vortex. You practice feeling better. You look for positive aspects. You rampage appreciation. You look for things that feel good. You get better and better at it. You line up with your vortex. A manifestation occurs. You have that worthy feeling that you have brought it about. Now you stand in yet another set of contrasting experiences. You launch another rocket. It feels foreign at first. You line up with it. And so some of you are saying, oh, God, we never get it done. It's just this constant having to experience joyous expansion. And we say, yes, that's what you came for. You came in order to pose the question, in order to find the thrill of the answer. Because nothing is more exhilarating than for you to find the unique solution and the unique answer that your life has carved out for you. You're not here like puppets on the string that are doing what someone else wanted you to do. Not even close to that. You are pure positive energy genius creators who are carving out your vortex for the thrill of coming into alignment with it. And we want to convey to you in a way that you can really feel it, that what life is, the zest of life, is this gap between who you really are and who you're allowing yourself to be. And the way you play that gap is the zest or the discomfort of your life. Once you get this and you realize that you're expanding and you are consciously coming into alignment with it, you begin to feel the power of creation pulsing through your hands. You begin to feel this energy that creates worlds flowing through you. You begin to have the knowledge of this loving, creative genius that is you see. And you find yourself saying, I came forth willing to expose myself to what I initially called bad and good, because the expansion and the ride on this stream is so worth it, you see. You're creators. You didn't come forth to sit on a log like a lump and just wait for someone else to dish up for you. You are a creator. You came to mold the clay, and you mold the clay with the power of your mind. And when life shows you that you don't want something, and you come to conscious awareness of what you do want, and then you deliberately line up with the thoughts and feelings of what you do want, and then you see the cooperative universe yield it to you in the most wonderful and amazing and surprising but perfect ways, you feel the worthiness of your being, and you feel the cleverness of your being, and you feel the aliveness of your being, and you come into concert with who you are. You can feel by the goosebumps that are pulsing within you, I'm right on my path. This is what I came for. This is what I signed on for. I want more, I want more, I want more of this. Not because stuff needs to be done, really. There isn't one other thing that needs to be created. There's not a long list, well, we'll send these forward, and these are the things that we hope this generation accomplishes. And if they don't get it done, we'll send another. It's nothing like that. It's that you're carving it out. There will always be more. The new generation will always find more and more and more. And there is never an ending place to it. It's all for the joy of the expansion, the joy of the eternal expansion. And when you resonate with that, when you get it, that that's who you are, then it couldn't possibly matter less whether you're standing in what you call a good place or a bad place, because it's all part of the process, and the bad is creating the good, and you now know too much. You now can line up with what you want and get that good feeling juices flowing quickly, yes? So at first, you're really clear about what you don't want. Clarity. Clear about what you don't want. Then you get general about what you don't want, less clear about what you don't want, therefore less active in your vibration. You see, when you focus upon something, you activate it. And as you focus upon it more, it becomes more active. And the more you think about it, the more active it is, until it becomes like a dominant part of your thought. That's what a belief is. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So if you practice this thought, good or bad, wanted or unwanted, it's active and it's bringing stuff to you. Eventually, it'll get big enough and bad enough that you'll say, the heck with this, I want something different than that. And at that point, the whole thing hinges on your willingness to feel good. Your willingness to want to feel good. That's what all of this hinges on. Your willingness to want to feel good. You have to want to feel good more than anything else. So, just this constant stream of expanding ideas so that you can experience the thrill of the movement in the direction of who you are. Still conceptual, but you'll get it. In other words, it's an idea that you resonate with. You were patient enough to listen to us ramble long enough that now there's nothing in your vibration that opposes it. Many of you are feeling that. Sort of like, gee, paid a lot of money and sat here all day, and Abraham only said one damn thing. One thing over and over and over and over and over again. But in the process, you've come into alignment with what's going on in your vibrational vortex, in your vortex of creation. You're closer to alignment with it than you've been in a long, 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 long time. And the manifestations that will reveal themselves to you over the next hours and days will be your evidence of the shift in your vibration. Take that, own it, know it, applaud it, acknowledge it, notice it, write it down, hold it in your vibration, and then keep it going. Milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it, until you have convinced yourselves in the same way that we know it, that all things that you want are available to you, and available to you quickly.